Hello and welcome to the Rainbow Sessions. Today we are going to be speaking with Heidi Goettsch. Heidi, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to meet you. You've recently taken on the role of president at Junior League here in Cedar Rapids. For those of us who are not junior leaguers, I'm a Rotarian. Can you share a little bit about what Junior League is and what it is you do there?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Junior League is an organization. It's actually part of a larger organization, the AJLI. And the Junior League of Cedar Rapids is really focused on cultivating women leaders in our community. And it's through volunteerism, collaboration, and training that we do that. So we partner with organizations throughout the community by identifying gaps that we see, whether it's certain populations in our community, whether it's different community organizations or nonprofits that have a gap in the support that they provide people and organizations. And so our current project is focused on what we call Bridging the Gap, and GAP stands for Guide, Advocate, and Provide. And it's focused on supporting foster youth as they age out of the foster care system. And so what we find is, how do we support and organizations and nonprofits that are already supporting those populations? And then how do we dive deeper in supporting them? So we have different components that we support the foster youth aging out of the foster care program.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How is that issue specifically important to you?
Yeah. So I have gone through my own fertility issues. The issue for me in joining Junior League wasn't necessarily about the mission of supporting organizations in the community. Mm-hmm. It was more about creating a network and communication and connectivity with those people. But what I found is that I do have a passion around foster youth and supporting the people, and it's created advocacy and awareness even within myself. And I think that's the value of Junior League, is seeing what gaps we do have in our community and how we can help support them, even though we didn't know that we had a passion around it.
Now, how did you know about Junior League? How did you first hear about it?
Yeah, so our family had moved from Des Moines in 2016. And I was speaking with a friend about how I wanted to create connection and create my own network within the community. And it was Junior League that came to mind for her, because she knew I had a passion of serving others. And so I joined in 2017, and through that have just continued to expand my leadership and opportunities to serve in different ways.
So word of mouth.
Yes, really. Yep.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What did the path to leadership look like?
Yeah, so when I joined in 2017, I was serving on a variety of different committees, looking at the different fundraisers that we have, helping to grow a membership. And then it was through that journey that others were seeing potential in me. Mm-hmm. And people in Junior League are not afraid to share that. And that's what I love. It's really lifting up other leaders in our community and helping them learn and grow in their leadership path. And so I was tapped in 2020 to lead some of our fund development efforts without any experience in fund development. So grant writing, creating fundraisers, really rallying the troops around that. And then through that effort, there were several people that tapped me for the president role. And so I served as president-elect last year, and then will serve as president this year.
That's really interesting. I think one of the things that people ask me a lot is how did I get into a leadership position? And I always say it's because someone told me I could. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I necessarily believed I could do independent of that. But as soon as someone said, "Oh, of course you can," I believed it, and that mm-hmm. became part of my identity.
Yep.
How do you bring that forward for other people? How do you pay that forward?
Yeah, so I am a firm believer in empowering others to do and cultivate their potential, and I'm not afraid to share others' potential with them. And I do that through, whether it's communication, whether it's nomination for awards, whether it's nominating for different positions that we have within League or even outside of League, and really being able to showcase that. I do that with my family, with my kids, but it's really just continuing to give them a voice in all that they do. I do that through my work in consulting and just empowering people to use your voice and leverage that in your leadership roles.
Do you feel like your experience in working with Junior League has changed the way that you operate as a consultant working with businesses?
Absolutely. Like, there are so many transferable skills that I'm learning in League, whether it's Robert's Rules of Order in different boards that you learn through and on, whether it's leading an effective meeting, whether it's empowering others and the power of being around a collective group. I say that now as an independent consultant, and I work, with teams, but oftentimes, you're working for teams. And when I work in Junior League, it's working as a team, and you've got that safety network of people that are going to bring diverse experiences to the table, whether it's their background, whether it's their history, whether it's, all of our backgrounds bring such a valuable aspect to Junior League and the projects that we're working on, that we're really there to lift each other up. We know that through trials, you're going to maybe have to step away from league for a little bit. That's okay. That's why we have 200, 300 plus members in league to help lift each other up.
And I imagine it's probably the case for a lot of members of Junior League that their experience in Junior League sort of carries out into the work that they do in the world, or how they show up and engage with the world outside of Junior League.
Absolutely. And you'll talk to a lot of what we call sustainers. So you have active membership, which is the first 5 years of your membership, and then you have the option to go sustaining, which means you financially support the mission and you're rallying around it. You provide support in the community, that type of thing. Many of our sustainers have said Junior League is how they got to where they are today, and they still have that network of people that are rallying and supporting them in the community. I mean, there are many familiar names in the community that, they really started within Junior League.
And I think that's really important information, especially for people who don't understand some of the elements of these service groups or social organizations and how they can really transform your own career path in your own life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that's not talked about enough.
And I always say with Junior League, you get out of it what you put in it. Mm-hmm. And so if you're willing to spend some extra time, if you're willing to take a leadership role that maybe is outside your comfort zone, that is where the growth happens. And it's a safe space of growth where you can still make a huge impact. And you've got, like I said, a lot of women behind you rallying to support you.
How has your time with Junior League been impactful to you personally?
Yeah, when we moved here in 2017, moving to a new community as a 30-something is extremely hard with young kids, and you have your parent network, but there's another element to being a human and being fulfilled for me, which is being able to serve and give back to my community. And I feel like Junior League helped fulfill that, both from a servant leadership perspective, but also from building that community and having those people of like-minded women that wanted to give back. And so it's really filled my bucket. And I think it translates into, in any situation you're in, community is so important to help rally around you, right? I experienced it with infertility when we went through surrogacy, like all the critical elements and stages of my life, seasons of my life, like that community is so critical to help rally around and build you up.
Oprah defines true philanthropy as giving back that which has been given to you. When you consider the challenges that you've faced, the opportunities that you've been given, and the wisdom that you've gained along the way, what does giving back look like from this moment forward?
So in 2013, when my first son was born, I was given a second chance at life. Mm-hmm. And I knew at that moment that my life was going to be different, that how I lived my life, what consumed my thoughts, what I did with my time was going to be different. And I feel like that has transcended into every aspect of my life, whether it's if I'm not happy in a certain aspect in making a change, whether it's the faith that I have in what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, whether it's living out my God-given gifts every day, living authentically in who I am without worrying about what others think and being able to do that. And lastly, I would say, I hope someday with my gifts and my authenticity, and hopefully that empowers others to live that way. But I hope to document it in writing through a book for my kids, for others, to give them hope that even through struggles, even, there are blessings on the other side. You maybe can't see it right then, but there are blessings through those struggles.
That's amazing. Is there someone in your life who has served as a mentor or as an inspiration to the way that you show up in the world? And what is the greatest lesson that they've taught you?
I have a lot of mentors in my life, and a lot of them have served me in the seasons. There's one, though, that transcends all seasons, and that would be my Dr. Dornbeer. And he has just served as such an inspiration for obvious reasons. He was the person that saved my life. He was the person that, when I was 10 weeks pregnant, told me candidly and directly, hey, you need to maybe be a little more active. That will serve you well, right? And that is exactly what I needed to hear when I needed to hear it. He was the one that looked beyond his practice and that connected us with our surrogate. The lessons, though, from him are, that's huge. I can never repay him. But when I think about the lessons of compassion and the lessons of almost tough love that he gave me and the impact that can have, when I think of the mentors that have had the biggest impact on me, it's those that genuinely care, that have the compassion and can have those direct conversations, even though it might be really hard. So it's that opportunity to serve others in that way, to be able to have that direct conversation, even though, oh man, that's hard sometimes.
So as a mother, we are always trying to find ways to impart lessons to our children, sometimes that they take and sometimes that they don't. Compassion is really important to you. How do you work to instill that in your children?
Through example, right? It's through helping show them compassion, thoughtfulness, thinking outside themselves, through my action and trying to demonstrate to them how we can do that for others. As a 10-year-old and 8-year-old twins, sometimes it's maybe not as, it's not sinking in as much, but there are glimmers of hope that they see it and that they get it. And I just think we are all, through serving others and showing the compassion, through giving back, just finding ways that we can do that as a family, or just demonstrating to them and having those conversations of why I'm in Junior League and what it's doing for me and how I'm serving others and the experiences that I have, and how we're so blessed and so fortunate and so privileged to have all that we have.
So we have a shared experience of surviving the process of becoming a mother. And when I say surviving, I don't mean it was painful. I mean, literally, there were serious risks involved to our lives in the process of becoming a mother. So now that you've been granted this new lease on life and this, you describe it as kind of a transformative experience, right? And I would say that it's the same for me. What should people know about becoming a mother, but also becoming a mother through hardship, so that they can be more compassionate with people going through some of that experience?
Motherhood is the hardest and best thing ever. I think the biggest thing as a mother is to know that every child is their own unique person. And every parent has their own unique style. And I think motherhood especially, there gets to be this comparison and this competition. And the beauty of motherhood is when you can let go of that and embrace the joy that comes with spending time and having your kids and being present. And that is a struggle for all of us. But I think that competition of keeping up with the Joneses, or, what I should be doing, there is no should. There is no should. You do what's right for you and what's right for your kids. No one else knows.
So what I think is really interesting is the way that social media plays a role in how we envision the lives of the Joneses, where it was kind of developed as a tool to bring us together and to make connection easier, but it's a different kind of connection, right? You're only seeing the best days of everyone's life. And so do you feel like within the space of Junior League and building real connections where you actually get to see people on a regular basis and you kind of experience their ups and downs, that can connect you more with the idea that we are all human and that you can, I feel like it's more meaningful, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do always say that Junior League connects you because you have that common ground. It's not because we're friends on social media and because we go to the same pool.
Right.
It's because we're rallying around a mission, which is helping support gaps in our community to help fill those gaps. And you're rallying together. You're in the trenches together, and it just automatically creates a deeper bond. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like when you talk about competition, the role that having real connections plays kind of changes that dynamic. It's not necessarily me against you and I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses if I can understand that sometimes your kid screams in Walmart too.
Yep. Absolutely. And you don't see that on social media.
No.
Yeah. You see, the highlight reel, and that's it.
None of us are taking selfies while children are screaming behind us.
Totally. Or if you are and you post it, people can relate to you in a big way. So
yeah, that's true. We all appreciate those vulnerability
Yeah.
posts.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. We're all real. We're in it together for sure.
What should I have asked you that I didn't?
For Junior League in particular, one of our big challenges is maintaining membership when there are a lot of other volunteer organizations out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we often get the question, what is different and how is Junior League, right? Like, how are you going to maintain, So when I get asked that question, I think about the deep connections that we just talked about and the impact of those deep connections. And Junior League of Cedar Rapids has been around for 90 years, which we plan to be around for 90 more years. And it's continuing to evolve the projects that we're working on. So Bridging the Gap we've been working on that project for over a decade. But the other projects like Leadership for 5 Seasons, if you've heard of that, that was originally created by Junior League.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And
I was in Leadership for 5 Seasons.
Yeah. Madge Phillips Center. That was created and funded by Junior League. And so what Junior League is known for is to find gaps in the community and fill those gaps and then turn it over to the rightful owner and then find the next gap. And so when I think about the opportunities in front of us and our commitment to the community to continue to fill gaps, it's really exciting to think about what the future holds. We're currently looking at, is Bridging the Gap our long-term, fulfillment? Is that what we're meant to do? Okay. If not, then where is our next opportunity? And I just think that it shows our commitment to where we're headed and how we can support the community, and our legacy will be here for many years to come.
That's so Junior League is in the business of starting social service startups, essentially.
Yep. Filling gaps.
That's amazing.
And transitioning it over to, yeah.
And I imagine there's a different dynamic when you're in an environment that is women as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, I would say, unique to Junior League as well. So women have, there is a reputation of how do you create a network of they're all rallying together. But like I said, we have that common bond. And that's what's so unique about the community is that we all know what our mission is and what we can accomplish, and the power of bringing all those women together to create and do good in the community and being able to bring it to fruition is just so empowering for all the women.
So if someone wants to get involved with Junior League, what do they do?
So you can go to our website, or you can reach out to any active member. Any active member can connect you to the right resources. We just changed our recruitment process. It used to be one or two times a year. You can now join any time of the year and start to get engaged right away with any of our projects.
If somebody wants to connect with you because they would like you to come and do some business consulting for them, some team building, some leadership development, how do they get in contact with you?
Yep. You can call me or you can email me at heidigoetsch@gmail.com, or actually Heidi Goettsch at corestrategicsolutions.com. It's probably more appropriate for this.
I'll type it up.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And we will be looking out for your book in the future.
Hi.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been amazing.
Thank you.